The stars shimmered like scattered diamonds across the void as Admiral Elena, Cade, gazed out the viewport of the horizon's reach. Humanity's flagship was a symbol of the future, sleek, purposeful, and brimming with hope. Behind her, the bridge buzzed with quiet efficiency as officers monitored the diplomatic summit being broadcast from the nearby neutral planet, Arsis Prime. The summit was meant to be a celebration. For the first time, humanity had invited members of the galactic community to witness the success of the Hope Initiative, a daring project to terraform desolate planets and provide homes for displaced species. A gesture of peace, of unity. Yet, Cade couldn't shake the unease knotting her stomach. "Status?" she asked, her voice sharp but calm. "Diplomats are in position," her aide, Lieutenant Commander Rahul Voss, replied. "Speeches are underway." No unusual activity reported, but the Karath Dominion had sent no representatives, and their silence was ominous. A warlike species driven by conquest, the Karath had always dismissed humanity as insignificant. That made their sudden hostility toward the Hope Initiative baffling. Humanity's offer of dialogue had been met with nothing but icy rejection. Suddenly, an alarm blared across the bridge. "Admiral!" Voss shouted. "Explosion detected on Arsis Prime. Hope Initiative's planetary hub." Cade's heart froze. "Show me." The main screen shifted to display the surface of Arsis Prime. Flames engulfed the facility where moments ago children from multiple species had played, their laughter a beacon of harmony. Now, the cries of the wounded and dying filled the air. "Casualty estimates?" Cade demanded, her voice taut. "Hundreds," Voss said grimly. "Mostly human, but several allied species as well. Initial scans suggest Korath tech signatures in the bomb fragments." Cade clenched her fists, anger surging through her. The Karath had done more than sabotage a diplomatic effort. They had struck at humanity's most vulnerable, their future. "Admiral," a communications officer called out. "Incoming message from Earth Command." The holographic image of President Talia Monroe flickered to life. Her expression was grave, her usual composure shaken. "We have confirmation," Monroe said without preamble. "The Karath Dominion orchestrated the attack. They've declared the Hope Initiative a direct threat to their dominion." "What's our response?" Cade asked. "We've issued a formal condemnation and demanded reparations," Monroe replied. "But the Karath have already dismissed our demands. They've warned us. Withdraw all efforts related to the initiative or face annihilation." Silence hung heavy in the air. Diplomacy, the foundation of the Hope Initiative, had failed. Cade's voice cut through the tension. "With respect, Madam President, words won't bring back the dead. The Karath won't stop here." Monroe's eyes hardened. "I agree, but our retaliation must be calculated. Humanity cannot afford to lose its moral compass." Cade nodded, though her blood boiled. She knew Monroe's position was tenuous. Humanity was still seen as an upstart species by the galactic community. An unchecked response could unite other species against them. The bridge fell quiet as Monroe's image vanished. Cade turned to her crew. "Send this message to the Karath Dominion. You touch the future's hope. We'll extinguish your species tomorrow." A collective shiver ran through the room. The words were not an idle threat. They were a promise. Cade returned to the viewport, staring into the void. The flames of Arsis Prime reflected in her mind's eye, fueling her resolve. Humanity had hoped for peace. The Karath had chosen war. Now humanity would answer. The first strike came silently, just as humanity had planned. From the observation deck of the Horizon's Reach, Admiral Elena, Cade watched as the holographic display updated in real time. A Karath supply convoy, essential to their war effort, flickered and vanished from the map. Humanity's experimental stealth fleet, codenamed Eclipse, had struck with surgical precision, leaving no survivors to report back. "Mission accomplished, Admiral," Lieutenant Commander Rahul Voss reported, a hint of satisfaction in his voice. "No losses on our side. The Karath won't know what hit them." Elena nodded but kept her expression neutral. The victory was a small one, though no less significant. It was proof that humanity, underestimated and mocked by the galaxy for years, could match the might of even the most seasoned empires. "We're just getting started," Elena replied. Order Eclipse to prepare for their next target. But as Voss turned to relay her orders, a message pinged on the secure channel. It was marked Priority 1. Elena's jaw tightened as she opened the encrypted file. A video played, showing the aftermath of a brutal Karath assault on one of humanity's outer colonies. Entire cities had been reduced to rubble. Survivors wandered aimlessly, their faces streaked with ash and tears. The Karath had not just attacked, they had made a statement. Civilians, children, the elderly. They had spared no one. Elena clenched her fists as the video ended. The Karath weren't simply retaliating. They were attempting to erase humanity's existence. She turned to Voss. Assemble the command staff. Now. Minutes later, the briefing room was filled with humanity's best strategists and scientists. A hologram of the Karath homeworld rotated in the center of the room, casting cold, blue light across grim faces. We've confirmed intelligence that the Karath leadership coordinates from this central nexus, Voss began, gesturing to the projection. If we take it out, we cripple their command structure. Murmurs rippled through the room, but Elena raised a hand to silence them. We're not here to debate the importance of this target, she said firmly. The question is how we hit it without losing everything in the process. Dr. Miriam Salas, chief strategist for the Hope Initiative, leaned forward. A direct assault would be suicide. Their planetary defenses are state-of-the-art, which is why we won't go in guns blazing, Elena replied. We'll use their arrogance against them. They think we're too weak to reach their doorstep. We'll prove them wrong. The plan was bold, bordering on reckless, but it was their best shot. A decoy fleet would draw Karath forces away from the homeworld, allowing a covert team to infiltrate and disable key defense systems. Once the Karath leadership was exposed, humanity would strike decisively. As the team dispersed to finalize the mission, Elena lingered, staring at the hologram of the Karath homeworld. Voss approached, his brow furrowed. Admiral, this operation, it's personal for you, isn't it? Elena's lips pressed into a thin line. They've made it personal for all of us, Rahul. They didn't just attack a project. They attacked what we stand for, what we're building for the future. Voss nodded but said nothing further. He didn't need to. Hours later, the operation commenced. The decoy fleet engaged Karath forces at the edges of their territory, drawing them into a brutal skirmish. Meanwhile, Elena's covert strike team slipped through the gaps in their defenses, cloaked in experimental stealth technology. The final moments of the section cut to black as Elena's team landed on the Karath homeworld. The camera pans to her face, illuminated only by the faint glow of her helmet's visor. Her voice, steady and resolute, echoes in the silence. They wanted to see humanity's resolve. Let's show them. The dark corridors of the Karath command complex hummed faintly with the sound of alien machinery. Admiral Elena Cade's strike team moved in silence, their movements precise and deliberate. The stealth suits they wore made them invisible to both sight and sensors, but the weight of the mission pressed heavily on Elena's chest. Team Alpha report, Elena whispered into her comms. Central defenses are offline, came the hushed reply from Captain Idris Cole, her second-in-command. Proceeding to primary target. Copy that, Elena replied. She gestured to her squad, signaling them forward. The air was thick with tension. Every corner they rounded, every shadow they passed, felt like it could hide an ambush. Ahead lay the Karath leadership's central chamber, a sprawling command hub encased in crystalline walls that glowed faintly with an eerie, pulsating light. Elena's team planted charges on the structural supports as they advanced, ensuring they could bring the entire facility down if necessary. As they breached the final door, they found themselves face-to-face with the Karath High Council. The alien leaders, tall, reptilian figures adorned with ceremonial armor, stood around a holographic display of the galaxy, their cold, calculating eyes locking onto the intruders. So, the humans come to grovel or to die. One of them sneered, its voice dripping with disdain. Neither, Elena said, her voice steady. We came to end this. Her squad fanned out, weapons trained on the council. But before anyone could fire, the holographic display shifted. What appeared was not a map of the galaxy, but a detailed diagram of human DNA. Elena's stomach twisted as she realized what she was looking at. They're not just trying to conquer us. Dr. Solis's earlier warnings echoed in her mind. They're trying to erase us. The Korath leader closest to her hissed, baring razor-sharp teeth. Your kind's existence threatens the natural order. You reproduce too quickly, innovate too recklessly. If left unchecked, you will consume the galaxy. Elena's finger hovered over her weapon's trigger, but she hesitated. Was this justification or fear? Did the Korath see humanity as an existential threat, or was it their own arrogance that drove them to such extremes? Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the chamber. Korath reinforcements were inbound. Time was running out. Admiral, we need to move. Captain Cole urged, his voice tight with urgency. Elena's mind raced. They could detonate the charges now, obliterating the Korath leadership and crippling their empire. But that would also cement humanity's reputation as a species of destruction, undermining everything the Hope Initiative had stood for. She took a step forward, addressing the Council. Surrender, order a full ceasefire and disarmament, and we'll spare your species. Refuse, and we'll ensure your tomorrow never comes. The Korath leaders exchanged glances, their arrogance faltering in the face of humanity's audacity. Finally, the Council's head spoke. You have proven your resolve, human. We will comply for now. Elena didn't trust the Korath, but a chance for peace, however fragile, was better than endless war. She nodded to Cole. Activate the charges on a delay. If they break their word, this facility falls. The strike team withdrew, slipping back into the shadows as the Korath scrambled to comply with humanity's terms. Once aboard the Horizon's Reach, Elena delivered the news to Earth Command. We've secured a temporary truce, she reported. But this isn't over. The galaxy knows what we're capable of now, and they'll either fear us or follow us. President Monroe's voice was resolute over the comm. Then we'll show them what humanity truly stands for. As Elena stared out at the stars, she allowed herself a moment of hope. The Korath had been stopped for now. The future remained uncertain, but humanity had made its stand. This was no longer a fight for survival. It was a fight for the galaxy's tomorrow.